Welcome back, friends and family. Today, Orlies Lowrider Magazine, Volume 1, Number 9. This came out, I believe, in October 1992, and for the most, we're gonna talk about Thomas Whitey Neely's My38 Chevy, which you guys see here on the cover. It later became Lowrider Bump of the Year in 1996, and most of you guys know it as this car, which to me was one of my favorite cars when I was growing up. Building model kits in my little room, I always was buying the Pegasus all gold wire wheels for my model kits, and I just adored this thing. In every version, there's a more radical version with like you guys probably hate the Transformer cars, but I thought that looked really cool. And later on it was gold, and to me it's kind of a sad ending because it ended up in Italy. Some weird guy, some Elvis guy called Fran or whatever, he bought it, and for what I know, the last time I've seen it, it was for sale in Italy, Switzerland and Germany, I think in 2014, but I think it never got sold. And there's a whole story when the car, when Whitey, rest in peace, he won Lowrider of the Year in like that style twice, and then he wanted to compete again, and then he changed the color to gold, changed the name too, but there was a sad story. I think that the FBI even was involved, and I don't know. So before we get started, it's already a long intro. A little disclaimer: all the things that I say, I don't want to name drop, and I don't want to go against certain people. I respect the classic memories, I respect Whitey, and I respect this car. I love this car. So I just want to share my knowledge, what I heard, and I hope I don't spread BS or some gossip. I just try to give you all the facts on that. Okay? So this one's gonna be another day. Let's just start with this, and for the most, like I said, I'm gonna talk about Whitey because I think he's very interesting. I think he owned this thing since the 60s. And there's even, for what I heard, a black and white photo in an old Lowrider magazine, where this was somewhere in Whittier, and it had Kragers on. If that's true, I hope this is true. So then he was a member of the Galloping Goose. That was a motorcycle club in LA, and later the Hells Angels took over. So at some point, I hope I'm right, he even was in the Hells Angels, and he was the club, the chapter president for some time. But then he and his friends dropped out of the Hells Angels and did their own thing again. For what I know, again, I don't want to spread any gossip and talk like bad about people that I don't know. But I think that's really, really interesting that a guy like that is into lowriders. Many white guys were like still in the 70s and the 80s highly involved in lowriders, and I just think it's cool that he came from like a rocker background. He also was club president of Over the Hill Gang, if I'm right, and those are like a bunch of hot rodders. And then later on, before he died, I think he was member of the Early Riders, which many ex-Hells Angel or like old Hells Angel guys are in the Early Riders. And it's a cool club. They have motorcycles, they have cars, custom cars and hot rods. Mike Perty, who also was a Hells Angel, also was a Galloping Goose was also a member of the early riders. He also passed away. He was a great guy. I always met him at Bob's Big Boy in Toluca Lake, and just great guys. So that's why I do those videos. I want to share the history, and I really think that this car is lowrider history. I always loved it. I've seen it one time and it just blew my mind. So let's get this started. Beautiful. This is beautiful 39. Okay. I think this Elko is still around, and it was for sale a couple of times on Craigslist somewhere in LA. And it's flat black, maybe, if that's the same car. And I think it's pretty cool. Wow, there we have a 72 Biscayne or 210. Nice little Silverado. The Silver Dollar Show, so I guess it's somewhere in Nevada maybe, I don't know. I always like those covers on those T-Birds. Wow, nice Porsche with those turbo. I think all American Porsches, the slant nose, they always had those, but in Europe only the turbos had those side vents, I think. Again, I'm just sharing here like my knowledge. Beautiful job on that Chevy. Nice little mini truck. Yeah, good looking Buick. I like that. Looks cool and more kind of hot rodded. Looks cool. Wow, that paint looks awesome. Nice Monte Carlo. Wow, beautiful Monte Carlo. Just look at that grille. Wow, nice car with keystones. I love the panels on the side. Cool. Man, I just want to talk about my 38 and Whitey, because I don't know, there's so much just interesting stuff about that, you know, about him, because I think he was really a cool guy. His daughter was on Instagram. She never accepted my friend's request, but for some reason my follow request, she followed me, and I was just reading some stuff on the Outlaw Archives or whatever that's called, where that guy is all about Hells Angels and stuff like this. And she was commenting about how her dad used to be and all of that. I just want to show you guys that glass house there. What a beautiful color. What a beautiful car. Beautiful. Beautiful color combination. City style CC. Cool. Wow, a Mercedes 123. Jesus. So I don't know how much I should talk about my 38 because I also want to show you guys when it was featured in Lowrider magazine. I also want to show you the Street Customs magazine where it was featured, and anything, like everything about the classic memories, because I think it's one of the craziest clubs if you think about it. Conrad Garcia is a member still, and he always had cool cars, and they just had, like in the 90s, just an awesome lineup of cars, I think. Cool. Okay, so like I said, sadly, this is just one page, which I don't really understand, but it already featured the Frenched in 59 Caddy taillights, which usually I don't like, but I think it really fits the car. And he had those in every version of the car, like from that car up on. So both when it made like Lowrider Bomb of the Year in the later 90s, he still had those in, and even today, as I said, I don't really know where the car is right now, but even in the golden version, he still had those in. I think in this, if you know how the car looked later, I have to say I really like the style. Just fender skirts, a Fulton visor, it looks like a Fulton to me, fender guards, and those are the right ones. Those are 38s, the red ones. Just beautiful car. And in here it says a little bit, like I was reading that earlier. It says over the hill gang. I don't really know if that's really true, but like I said, he was in the early riders. He used to be in Hell's Angel, and he used to be in the Galloping Goose. I hope I say that right. And I always, as a kid, thought it's so cool when you saw the lineup of his car club. I always thought it is so cool how he's just standing there, and he was just this, like, you know, as a kid I never seen like rocker guys or something, but there was just something to him where you could tell, wow, you know, he's the real guy. So what kind of sucks, in here they spelled his name wrong, so it's Thomas Neely. They probably put the W there because his nickname is Whitey, and it's Hesperia. That's spelled wrong. But overall, it's just a beautiful car. And I'm gonna keep all the details maybe to another episode, but for now I'm just gonna tell you this. So he won Lowrider Bomb of the Year with the all gold, where everything was gold plated. Later on, it was a heavy metal flake gold. A heavy metal flake red with everything gold. He cut the fender, which kind of always bothered me as a kid. So it was one of those transformer cars where the front is like a flip front, and both doors were suicide. So the rear ones are stock on those cars, but he also converted the front, which on a 38 you usually don't have suicide no more. So he had the suicide front and back. Then he had the coolest hydraulic setup in the back. I can show you photos. Just gonna post whatever I find right now on here. And then later on, he made Lowrider Bomb of the Year twice, I think. And then in the early 2000s, he took it somewhere, Palmdale, Lancaster, somewhere out there, and it wasn't the candy factory, which was known in the 90s for like those crazy candy metal flake paint shops. I think it was called the Candy Connection or something. Hold on, sorry, hold on 1 minute. Sorry, my cat wanted to come in, and I do those really unscripted and without any plan. So what I wanted to say is that that car was at that candy factory, Candy Connection or whatever it was called, forever. And by the way, nice G-body right there. I show you guys, and then I continue talking about my 38. Cool airbrush. That looks cool. Okay, so for some reason, I don't really know how that happened, Whitey bought the golden candy, from someone who stole it. So I don't really know if it was a federal thing, because I heard that the FBI was investigating there too, but in the end the car, I think, got impounded or something, and then he sold it, I think through Conrad Garcia, to this guy Fran. I'm gonna post I can't even believe that this creature bought that car, because I think he's lame. He should stick around like 59 Cadillacs and just listen to Elvis Presley songs all day. But yeah, who am I don't know. Nice Buick. I don't know, I don't like 58s in general, but besides the 58 Chevy, but all the other GMs, they kind of look funky. They're just too much, but it looks okay. Always like those T-birds. So I just think it's sad, because the car then was shipped over to Europe. It made like it's around to like all the European like weird car shows, where it's more like as in like, look at that goofy car or whatever. So it was on display in Germany, in Sweden, I think, and somewhere else. And I think the car just doesn't belong over here. I think it should be back there. And I was reading a couple of years ago that guys from his club, from the Classic Memories, they want to buy the car back. But as I said before, I think the last time I've seen it for sale was 2014. Since then the thing disappeared. I don't know if it's already back in the USA. I don't know if it's still somewhere in Europe. I don't care. I don't know. It's just sad, and it really breaks my heart. And I know that the daughter thinks the same way, because I was riding with her, and she says it's bad that the car somewhere in Italy and with some weird guy. Nice Cadillac there. But yeah, sorry, my cat is making weird noises in the background. Okay, so there you go. Some cool photos. That thing looks cool. And that is a 61 Chevy Impala, if you see that. It just has a new front on it, which I think is pretty cool. Really cool. Or maybe it's, I think it's a 61, I don't know. That fender line, the roof, windshield, it's just weird with those suicide doors and everything. Wow, beautiful T-Bird. Beautiful car. It's just killer. Wow. What a cool car. Love the interior, love everything about that thing. Yeah. They're the Dukes. So if you know where my 30 is, where my 38 is now, and if you know more about Whitey and more about the car, let me know. I was just thinking I share this with you, this issue. Usually I just do Lowrider magazines and roading customs and stuff like this, but I thought it's really interesting. I like this W126 there. By the way, I'm not a Mercedes guy, I just like to say all the stupid names. Nice and pink, and looks like it's been chopped. I just thought I share this with you because I think it's very interesting and I love that car, as I said. So I was thinking I share this with you because it's cool to see that it's been around for such a long time. In the article it says he bought it in 58. I don't really believe that he bought it in 58 because of his age. But it could be that he owned it since 58. I heard he owned it since the 60s. And as I said, there's a picture where he's on Whittier and it sits on Kragers or something and it's a black and white photo. I tried to find that. I was on the Lay It Low message board. I was all over the place and I couldn't find anything about it. I just could find this version, as I gonna post somewhere, and then the later version as I gonna post somewhere over here, and then the final version where it's now somewhere in Europe. And it said what I actually liked what he did later on. He cut there's this body line. If you're familiar with a 38, there's this body line that comes down here, and he cut the doors here. So this will stay and it's all molded in, and the doors are just those tiny things that fold out, and I think that was pretty cool. It's also powered by a 350 Chevy, everything gold. And he had that very cool, I think 4 pumps in the back, and there were those just awesome reservoir. It just looked cool. And I think 16 switches, I mean it's the 90s, and 6 batteries, which I thought, you know, like for a bump, that's a lot, so I probably even hopped a little bit. But that being said, it's already 23 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked those videos too. Everybody just watch my Joe Ray videos, and I kind of feel bad because I kind of roast him there. But I like his cars, and if you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe and share my stuff. I try to do the best I can, and I try to dig in, and I try to like tell you guys everything I know. Maybe today I talked a little bit much about this one car and not really that much about the magazine itself, but I just wanted to do that because I think it's one of the coolest lowriders, and it's definitely lowrider history for me at least. So I thought maybe someone else sees it as lowrider history too. As I said, thank you for watching. Recently I get more views, which I think it's crazy, but thank you guys so much, and hope to see you in the next one. Okay, bye.